Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we're diving back into The Director Who Buys Me Dinner. We're diving into episode 5. Episode 4 ended with them in the hospital and him accidentally revealing that, hey, my arm is fine now. Oops, my bad. So we're gonna just dive in and see where the things go with this episode. You know, I love this little series. It is so damn cute. I love it. So aside from the fact that they are both magically delicious men, it's so damn cute. So we picked up where we left off in the hospital. And we kind of just got a little recap of the same scene that we saw at the end of the last episode, where drop the plate, catches the plate, it's like, oh shit, my bad. And it's like, didn't you hurt that hand? And it's like, ow. Ouch, it hurts. Oh no. I'm just like, I can't believe you lied to me. How could you do this? And he looks so hurt. And then he just gets up and he hugs him. He's like, I don't want you to run away. I'm like, oh, sweet feelings. And then we flash to the next day, or whenever they get back to the office, however much time has passed. And you know, Dongbek's just doing his own little work, and his coworker's like, hey, boss wants to see you. Go on ahead in. So then he walks in, and just the lighting in that scene was so gorgeous. Like they had, it wasn't like super intense backlighting in like some of the Thai series that I'll see, where it's like, okay, we're getting this really ethereal, angelic vibe. It was similar to that, but it was coming from like the side. So it's like coming from the back of Dongbek in a sense, but it was still being exposed on the camera, so that it gave this nice sort of like glow effect. And it was nice. So that whole scene was just lit beautifully, and the soundtrack, it's such a good soundtrack, such good. So that whole scene was just very, very nicely done, and I loved just the intense. I've said it since day one. I love how straightforward the director is. He's just like, bam, this is how I feel. This is what we're doing. This is the case. You're reincarnated. Blah. Like he doesn't beat around the bush. He just. So I like how, again, straightforward he was in the scene, where he just grabbed Dongbek and it's like, I'm gonna start loving you seriously. I'm like, bitch. Hold on, let me take off my pants right quick. Hold on my calls for the rest of the day. Like, okay, you love me as seriously as you want to, sir. And he's like, so after work, I'm gonna see you waiting right here for me. And then I'm gonna assume that we feel the same about each other. And then he just leans in, and they're like 5 inches from each other's faces, and I'm just like, sir, you are lucky you had Dongbek there and not me, because you would have got a tongue to the back of the tonsils with a quickness if that were me. Praise Jesus. But yes, that made Dongbek's heart go pitter patter. So he had to run to the stairwell like, girl, what just happened? Holy shit, did that just actually just happen? Whew. And try to catch his breath and, you know, collect himself so he can go back to finish his workday. But what he wasn't counting on was director of the other department being down there having a little hissy fit. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Where are we going with this? She's crying. So I was thinking maybe she was going to be crying or hysterical for like a relationship or something, and he was going to give some sort of advice, and by giving his advice to her, it would help him realize his feelings for the director. But no, not like that. She was crying because the young boy that we met in episode 1, when he walked into the office thinking that he was getting the job at her department, and she's like, oh no, we've already got our new hire. Well, he quit. He just left, and he left with a vengeance. I don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired between he and her, or he and the rest of the department, to make him leave in such a fashion. Because I've left jobs before too. But you would have to royally piss me off or do something to irritate me to such a level that I would leave the job and delete files and take all of the things that I contributed to. Like, I was breaking up with somebody. Like, okay, I brought this shit into this relationship. I'm taking this out the door with me. Like, a job would have to do something. Thankfully, usually anytime I've left a job, it's just because I've either found something better or just I usually work multiple jobs at once, so just the stress of working that many jobs got to me, so I had to, for scheduling purposes, let one down or something like that. But I can't think of a time when I've left a job where I was like, you know what, y'all screwed me over. I'm so pissed off. There was one instance that I left a job where I thought about that, but the people I was leaving behind, I didn't want to screw them over, my teammates that I was working with at the time, because I'm like, I had a good time with them, I enjoyed them, but I was like, okay, I'll leave this stuff here for y'all. I'll leave it still working intact for y'all. But yeah, so for a little boy to run off and start deleting stuff and taking stuff with him, something had to go down. Something had to go down, and I would like to know what that scenario is, but we don't have time in the series to dive into that. Anyway, so he left, and she's out here freaking out because we've got whatever event coming up really, really soon, and they've got nothing. So she's like, my boss is gonna kill me. And then a light bulb went off in her head. Hey, you were gonna interview to work here, weren't you? In my department. Yes, you were. I remember reviewing your file. Yes. So you want to come help, right? You're gonna help me out, right? Come help me out. Well, and he's like, no, I can't. I have things. She's like, a couple hours won't kill you. It's fine. And he's like, I've got to go ask my supervisor. Which I'm like, hey, lady, you should probably ask his supervisor, because he is his supervisor's employee. Like, you can't just and it's the same company, so you can't just come snatching someone else's employee and say, hey, I'm gonna borrow him indefinitely. Yeah, so you probably, she's like, no, what is he, your school teacher? No, you're an adult, come on. And he's like, no, I shouldn't. She's like, it won't hurt, it just, a couple of little volunteer hours. He's like, volunteer? She's like, I'm just making a metaphor. And I'm like, I'm gonna need this metaphor to be in writing with a specified dollar amount, please and thank you. So anyway, she drags him up there, and then the whole office is just trying to like, hey, why don't you just go ahead and draw? Just go ahead and do the thing. You're fine. And I'm like, hey, you stole him from, he wasn't on lunch. His workday was not done. None of these things. You literally just stole the man from his job that he's being paid to do for something that he's not being paid to do. And B, you're telling me that there's no one else on your team capable of, who's already on your team, who's already involved with this project. There's no one else who can potentially do the job that this little boy did. Like, that's job security. That's job security right there. If you are the only person in the entire fucking building who can do this one job, that's job security. But I feel like that little boy's position wasn't, or at least it shouldn't be, that much of a job security sort of thing. Like, multiple people on the team should, maybe he was the best artist or, the graphic designer or something like that, but like, you should have multiple of those on staff, girl. That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. But anyway, she cons him into, sitting down and drawing, and he gets lost in his art. As we tend to do. Like, the number of times I've been in the kitchen just baking, and before I look, it's 3:00 in the morning. Like, sometimes you just get lost in what you're doing, and you just enjoy the process. And, I get it. So he get lost, and then, everybody's leaving. It's nighttime now. I'm like, girl, you gonna miss you got a meeting. You got a meeting with your boss, man. You gonna miss it, girl. And he finally looks up at the clock. It's like, oh shit, okay, it's almost time. And then he just sits there for a while, just pondering, like, should he go, should he not go? And then he starts flashing back to all those little moments that they had together. Him buying the medicine, him saving his life, and just, just sweet little moments they've had. And he's like, yeah, I want to try this. So then he goes upstairs and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I want to try this. And then that's where we left. It was sweet. Love this series. It's cute. Lighting is great. Soundtrack's great. Guys are beautiful. It's all around just great. Sweet. So I'm gonna dive into the next episode and just see where things go. So hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications to be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Mwah. And before you guys go, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone supporting me over on Patreon. This channel would not be what it is today without your continued support, and I can't begin to thank you guys enough for all you've done for me. If you'd like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. I'll see you guys in my next video.